Yo, and we are live, baby. We are live, baby. Uh, uh. And guess what? It's a Friday. It's a Friday. So I do expect quite a few people hopping on here. I don't see anyone just yet, but I'm gonna go through these levels. Whether you're here or not, I'm gonna go through these levels. So, a few things that I'm looking out for. A few things I'm looking out for, and as you guys know, I'm trading both NQ and Nasdaq. Okay, but let's start off with ES. Okay, we got 8 minutes till the market opens, and we do have, just so you guys are aware, we do have consumer sentiment at 7. So we are gonna see a little bit of volatility, 7 a.m. Pacific time. Anyone on the east side at 10, there's gonna be consumer sentiment will be released, so do expect a little bit of volatility. But let's go through these levels, right? So starting off with ES here, I'm gonna just go down the top down analysis once more, not just for your sake but for mine. Really want to understand what's happening here. So if we look, right, if you guys are looking at the hourly time frame, let's go to the hourly time frame. We did have overnight, we were kind of stuck in this range. We recently broke out of that range, and now we are having a hard time breaking yesterday's high, the high of day from yesterday. We had a really strong rejection, and now we're seeing a lot of volume as we get to this level. Seeing a whole lot of volume, right? So I'm keeping an eye on that. Now we do have a level of resistance that turned into support once we broke past that range, right? So 45, 43 is another level of interest that I'm looking out for. Now going over to the let's head over to the 10 minute. That way we can understand what's happening. So this little zone here that I drew out, that's actually a 10-minute zone. 10-minute demand zone there, and we've been rejecting it. I have a pretty good feeling it's that we're gonna break past this, because it seems like we're seeing a little bit of weakness from buyers. They keep wanting to bring price up, but price isn't going in their favor, and now we're starting to see some really nice selling step in here. So that could potentially be an opportunity there. We recently broke past this wedge here, so quite a few confluences. I don't normally trade pre-market, but maybe this right here, this little zone here, as we broke past it, could have been a nice area to get in, right? But we are kind of stuck in this. I will say we're stuck in between, you know, two opposing zones. We have this demand zone here, and then we have this supply zone up here. So, if you wanted to play it safe, I would definitely, and I'm gonna draw this wedge here. If you want to play it safe, then I would definitely wait until we can wait until price picks a direction. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that on there, and then just looking at the 2 minute here, this once again seems like we're in a range, right? Uh, we broke past this wedge here. We're seeing this little wedge here. Um, yeah, not much more I can make out of it. Honestly, I'm drawing these things out. Maybe they may not mean anything right now, but they could potentially um, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Help us out when coming out with the trade idea, or solidify a trade idea. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Solidify. So if we now head over to NQ, I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. If you guys look, if we're looking over at NQ now, NQ, may look the same, but it's quite a different story. So if you look at what happened overnight, and right now I'm looking at the higher time frames over on my other screens. If you look at what happened overnight, we were kind of stuck in the range, right? We made some price yesterday, ended up running up very nicely, and we ended up staying in this range here. So between 1568, 15685, which is a level you'll see down here, up to 15729, we're just in this range. Like I said, we're in this range. So I'd also, if you guys want to play it safe, it may be better if we wait until we can see a break past these ranges here, because we're in a range on ES, we're in a range on NQ, and there's a few levels that I pointed out here. So if I head over to maybe like the 15-minute, there's a few levels I pointed out right here. So this zone here, this is what I call a transition of control zone. We had sellers in control, buyers then stepped in to control, and it's been holding, right? It held once, made higher highs, came back down again, and it keeps touching it, right? It keeps touching it. However, we are seeing the same thing here, same price action as what we saw on ES, right? We had this range here, which was broken. This range was broken, and now we're being supported by this wedge over here. So hope you guys don't mind those little line there. I know my charts could get a little messy at times, but I'll clean it up as we start to invalidate some of these things here. But yeah, we're just being supported. This gray box here, this is another, if we head over, I believe it was the 5-minute. Nope, it was the 10-minute. On the 10-minute, if you head over to the 10-minute, you can see we had once again what I call a transition of control zone. So we broke past it. Actually, this one's not as valid though, so this one I don't really like. And the reason I don't like it is because we broke past it and then we broke above it. So I'm gonna invalidate this. The only thing holding us up here is this, or holding us down, I should say, is this level of defense right here. So we're seeing a lot of resistance up here, and we're seeing a lot of support here. So once again, same story, and I'm actually gonna invalidate this as well, get rid of this, but it's literally the same story here. Like, we're seeing, this range. All right, well, let's get to, oh god damn, what the hell is this? What is this? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my god. So we're seeing, let's see, so we broke past that range on ES, on NQ. Jesus, where did the price go? Godly. Okay, well, literally invalidated everything that I had here. So yeah, that was a very aggressive open. I will say that, very aggressive open. I'm not looking to go long just because the market's going up. No, we're gonna remain patient here. Yeah, do your thing, Cam. Do your thing, bro. I'll see you in a little bit. Goddamn, market ran up like crazy. Yeah, that's kind of insane how fast it ran up. I wanted to see here. It didn't even give us a chance to, like, settle in. It just shot up. So, and I'm looking here. I'm looking at ES because ES is looking pretty I mean, both of these are looking pretty attractive. I just I don't want to rush into anything, so I'm gonna just remain patient. There's something going on here though. Let me just fix my charts real quick because this right here is bothering me. Center on price scale. Okay. Okay, so on, yeah, that looks pretty attractive. So we broke past that wedge. It just moved so damn fast, but we did break past that wedge there. I'm telling you, Fridays, whew, Fridays are nice. Fridays are nice. I'm liking this action so far. This definitely sets the tone for the rest of the day. Like if we're gonna be moving like this, then we could potentially catch some nice moves. Ooh, we saw, and this is something that I overlooked here. We saw some really nice volume at 624. We saw some really nice volume. We got above VWAP, so that could have been a really nice trade there. Same thing here at 624 on NQ. You guys can tell, or I should say 924 for anyone on the east side. 924, we saw really strong volume, strong increase in volume. And I believe we broke past. I believe we broke past an opposing zone here, which is what I like to see. Anyways, yeah, so far that one would have been a really nice trade. It moved way too fast for me, so I guess we're just gonna remain patient until we see another one. But that one was really nice. We double bottomed, we broke past. We were being supported. We broke past VWAP, um, and yeah. But like I said, we do have consumer sentiment at 7, so about 30 minutes from now, we should see another spike in volatility. Let me go ahead and fix that up. Yeah, imagine just being 1 minute into the market and you already made money. You're chilling for the day. How nice would that have been? Yeah, that one was a really nice trade though. I want to look here at the 1 minute on NQ. And I want to point out something. Ugh. So I didn't really see. Okay, I just saw the strength in volume. It was exactly at 625, 925 for my people on the east side. We double bottom, broke past. We were supported, broke past VWAP, strength in volume, and then we were being supported there. Yeah, broke past the wedge. So yeah, it was looking pretty nice. I mean, had you caught that move, that's like 50 points off the rip. So I guess right now we'll just remain patient. We came across a daily supply up here at 1577. And then right here we broke past yesterday's rejection on ES, broke past that wedge, It's crazy how much more NQ has been running these past few days. Like, this thing has been running. Run it, run it, nip. Run it, run it, nip. And the base keeps running, run it, nip, run it, run it. So ES, we just tagged that zone there. Ooh. The only issue here is I don't have any levels above these at these current price levels. I don't know if there's a significant level to consider at 45.55. Sheesh, this thing just keeps ripping. Wow. So we did get a second. Okay, let's reevaluate the situation here because I just missed another opportunity here on ES. We came back into that zone and tagged it perfectly. Being supported, broke past the wedge. We're above the EMAs. Yup. Looking at the volume here, that's insane how much we ran up. That's insane. I'm gonna get rid of a few levels here. This daily supply, I'm gonna leave that one on there. I don't know what to make out of it. I don't know if we're gonna see. I don't know. I don't think with the strength that we're seeing, I don't know if we'll be seeing a reversal anytime soon. We're seeing some really strong buying stepping in. Incredibly strong. Jesus Christ, man. So Apple off the rip, making higher highs. It's approaching some levels of supply here. I will say that. Yeah, Apple's approaching a level of supply, and it seems like Seems like Microsoft, all these equities, they're not really doing much. Apple and Microsoft, I would have expected to see maybe a bigger move from them, but nah, it's not really doing much. Man, and I really like that volume that we saw there. That was definitely worth pointing out. I just completely missed it. At 624 we had a whole lot of volume. Off the rip though, we had so many freaking buyers. That's insane how much buyers we had. I'm looking at this 451 level on ES. This 451 level on ES, if we can come down to it once more, I'd be willing to take it long. Although we are seeing some selling step in here. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to go in. I'm going to go long at 451 on ES. And then my stop loss is going to be right beneath 45.50. We'll see how that works out. $45.51, $45.51 down to like $45.50. All right, I'm gonna hop in right there. Stop loss is right beneath 45.50. I'm going in long here. Stop loss is at below 45.50, so just a tick below it. So we hopped in. I like the rejection. Let's see if we can find some continuation here to the upside. And I'm looking at Apple and Microsoft. Apple's coming into a level of demand. Microsoft is coming to the lower part of its range, so I'm hoping for a little bounce here. So we are currently up on this position. Got in at 45.51.25. Really nice entry. Now we just got to see some continuation here. All right, so we are currently in long. I repeat, we are in long on ES. We saw some really nice buying stepping in as the market opened. I'm only risking about not even 2 points here, so I think I'm in the clear. I need to start looking what I'm going to target. It's kind of hard at these levels, especially since we haven't been at these highs for such a long time. I guess what I do want to see, I don't want to see a double top. I want to see a break past this 45.56, and same thing for NQ. If we got to break past this 15.803 level, so we got to break past this, if we double top, then I'm gonna have to get out of this position. I don't want to see a double top here. Don't want to see that. I need to see some continuation as we break past this. We are currently up on the position here. Got in at a really nice entry. Like I said, we're only risking, you know, a few points here. Not even a few, a couple points. And then I'm looking at Microsoft and Apple here. Microsoft is doing a good job of bouncing off of the lower extreme. So if we bounce off of that and we can break past the little zone that I noticed here on Microsoft, it would be nice. Same thing goes for Apple. We got to break past this little zone here, this little supply zone. So I like to keep an eye on these equities, right? These move the markets. Apple and Microsoft, they're moving the markets literally. So I think keeping an eye on them is pretty wise. They're literally behind the steering wheel navigating this market. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on what they're doing. But I like this trade so far. We got to see some continuation here. We got to break past this level, 45.56. I didn't see a whole lot of, and I'm going to protect myself here actually. Let me see what the, I don't want this coming back down. That would be, so I'm going to move my stop loss at break even actually. I don't want this to come back down on me. But as you guys know, once we get 10 points here, if we can get 10 points, if we can break past this 45.56 1, that would be step number 1. Step number 2 is getting 10 points. I'll trim at 10 points, and then I'll let some free runners do their thing. Let me mark this thing down. We broke past, we're being supported by a key level. I have this checklist with me, but it's kind of hard when everything's moving so fast and I have to like check off things. But it's something that I want to get used to doing more often. It's very easy to overlook, but I think it's super important to journal and have a checklist, right, of things that we're looking for. All right, so I like this trade, and this is one of the reasons I trade both NQ and ES, is because sometimes I see better opportunities on ES and sometimes I see better opportunities on NQ, and they move the same, right? It's not like I'm looking at two different markets. It's like I can use both of these in conjunction. One of the reasons I hopped into this play here on ES is because we're still uptrending hard here on NQ. We are uptrending really nicely. So for that reason, I use that as a confluence for my trade. So we're about, let's see if we can break. We're seeing some really nice volume here. We're seeing higher highs on NQ, on ES as well. We just broke it by a tick, I guess. I definitely don't want to see this drop again. We got to see some continuation. And like I said, once we get 10 points on this, so at 44, at 45.60, if we can, I'll trim there. So one of the biggest, one common mistake on my end is I always, when I go short, I end up adding to my position. So I have to remind myself of, okay, I went long, I have to sell. It's just, it's a newbie mistake, but you know, when you're like so dialed in, you almost forget sometimes. So we're seeing a pretty strong rejection here. Of course, we're making higher highs, but this isn't really a concern. It's looking, the trade's looking really good, and I'm at break even, so there's no way I can lose on this trade, or I should say my stop loss is right at break even. So I'm bought the market, and I'm gonna sell the majority of my position. If we can get up to 44, 45, 60, that would be amazing. I definitely don't want to see it get below 45.55 at this point. We rejected that really nicely, and it's an opposing zone. So there's a few things that I'm looking at. We're double bottom. We're double topping here on Apple. Wouldn't want to see it get below this 190.80 level. So I'm actually gonna move my stop loss just a tad bit. 45.55 is right there. Yeah, I'm gonna move my stop loss here at 45.53. So now there's no way in hell I'm losing in this position. We just locked in. I definitely, if I see this go below 45.55, then I think that's a concern. I would love to see some continuation here. Like I said, we are targeting 45.60. 45.60 is where I would like to see price hover over to. What's Microsoft doing? Microsoft, Apple's making lower lows here. I don't like what Apple's doing, if I'm being completely honest. As long as, I guess, I'm looking here. Trend line. I'm looking at this little trend line. If you guys are looking at Apple, you can draw a little wedge here from the bottom, and then we had a pullback, and now we're testing that trend line there, or the little wedge, I should say. Okay, this is looking pretty solid. I'm really hoping we can get that 45.60. There's not much more I can do other than to just mitigate, manage, I guess move the stop loss around if I need to. We're making higher highs here on NQ, making higher highs on ES. Microsoft, not really doing much. It's kind of like in a sideways range, but I used it as confluence 15 minutes ago, because 15 minutes ago it bounced off of support. So I kept that in mind. We got to break past this 45.57 level. So we missed that NQ opportunity. We missed that one, but we've redeemed ourselves. We're now in a winning trade. Like I said, I really want to see this get up to 45.60. At this point, like that's the next psychological level. So I think that would be a really good target. I can't look back that far. I mean, I could, but I would have to go on the daily chart, and the daily doesn't really tell you much. I would really have to go down to the lower time frames, but Thinkorswim doesn't allow me to go that far. I don't know what I'm saying. I need to just shut up and let this thing work. Alright, so I'm going to draw a little wedge here on a little trend line here. I keep saying wedge, but it's a trend line here on NQ. Wouldn't want to see, and I wouldn't want to see NQ get below 15,789, 15,790, let's call it. I wouldn't want to see it get below that. I feel like that would be a concern. I don't like what price is doing here, to be honest. I'm gonna move my stop loss just a little more. Put it right here at 45.54. On ES, once again, we are playing ES right now. We hopped in at 45.51. 45.51. We were risking about 2 points, a little less than 2 points actually, and we're now, you know, 5 points up in this position. I really don't like the action here. Yeah, Apple just broke past the trend line. Microsoft is making lower lows, or not making lower lows, but it's going down to the bottom of its range. Not really what you would want to see. The one thing, like I said, if I want this 45.55 to be supported here. And this 15,790 level to be supported here on NQ. I get the only supply zone that I see is quite far from here. It's actually no. No. $45.66. 45.66. I'm gonna look at that level. Okay, so Apple, we're seeing a little bounce back here. I'm telling you, we have to break past this level. If we 45.55 is holding very nicely, but we just have to make some higher highs here. And again, it's hard because we don't know whether there's a key level up here. Right, I can look on the daily, but it doesn't really.
Stop filled.
All right, I am glad. Oh, it's 7. It's 7. I should have. Oh man, that was my fault. That was my bad. I got so dialed in. I totally forgot about consumer sentiment. Damn. Okay. Well, at least I protected myself. I did make about 4 points on that one. Totally forgot about consumer sentiment. Oh goodness. We're bouncing off of support right here on ES. Man, I totally forgot about fucking A. I need to have a timer because sometimes I get locked in and I totally forget about. Sheesh. We bounced off of this support level down here on ES. We continue to play defense down here. I'm going to invalidate this. Maybe this is just what we needed. Maybe we need to find buyers down here. Alright, well, I ain't even mad. We took a nice little trade there. we'll just have to remain patient here. I don't know where to go from here. And I'm kind of bummed out that I didn't take profit at these I mean, had I been aware of the time, I would have taken profits up here at this 45.57 level that was acting as strong support or strong resistance, I should say. I totally forgot about. I lost track of time here, so it is what it is. But it could have also gone the other way around. Had we seen a very strong move to the upside, I'd be celebrating right now. So it's a double-edged sword. It could have really helped me out. I could have made a nice bag right now had it gone the other way. But I think it would have been. I still would have taken some profits off the table, and then have some free runners just in case it does go up. So ES, we we were bouncing off a key level. Yes. We saw defense. We were playing defense. Yes. And then aggression. We saw increasing volume. Yes, I would agree. We broke past it. We broke past it. Broke past the wedge. We broke past 5-minute candle range. And then we did double bottom. And there wasn't really, I guess you could say there was a clear path. Nice, okay, cool. So got that, locked that in, cool. Man, how did I lose track of time? Surprised we don't have any viewers here for being a Friday. I'm looking at volume here. There's not much that I really like. It's crazy how fast NQ just moved as we opened. I keep looking at that trade there. That thing just moved. So we keep playing defense down here. We're being supported. And we do have, I guess we can. No, that doesn't make sense. No. I was about to draw a trend line, but that wouldn't make sense. No. I mean, we did break past this little wedge here. but not really something that catches my attention. Especially right now, I mean, we're seeing a lot of support here. We're seeing a lot of support here. I'm gonna draw a little line here of support on NQ. I'm actually gonna get rid of this little wedge. Okay, so just pay attention to that 15,770. Pay attention to that, right? We bounced off of it aggressively. We also bounced off of level of support here on ES. That 45, 48 level, definitely a level of interest. So I'm not really interested in taking a trade here. We're like in a little box here. So I want to see what price ends up doing. Because we're kind of chopping back and forth here. We don't really have an edge. I don't see an edge. We're testing those highs again. I'm looking here on ES. Let's see if all right, so NQ just made a higher high. Let's see. ES seems to be kind of falling behind today. Alright, so it looks like we got some really nice momentum here. We could potentially break past this. I'm not really interested in taking this, honestly. I'm not a big fan of just playing breakouts. So I'm gonna wait until yeah. Not a big fan of this. I'm gonna just wait. Get some more information here, let the market develop. So pretty strong rejection here from ES. Same thing goes for Apple, and I mean, Microsoft is still in a range, in a sideways range. Apple, it was trending nicely until it wasn't. It was trending nicely to the upside, and now we seem to be in that range. So this does raise some concerns here. Again, we don't know what lies up here. We don't know if there's any key levels up in these areas. Right, we haven't been this high in a while. So So that's why I'm choosing to just sit on the sidelines for now. I need to remind myself, I got a timer right here. I gotta set this thing. Anytime we have news, I gotta set that thing, cause like today, like right now we can we keep making higher highs here on NQ. Excuse me. We keep making higher highs on NQ here. I just don't like the. I'm not a big fan of what's happening on the in the other equities. Okay, Microsoft making. I think it's testing the highs here. But if Microsoft breaks past that range, that's going to be a good sign. If it can break and hold above that range, that would be a really good sign. It's testing it. Microsoft is currently testing the upper part of the range. We saw a really strong rejection. A whole lot of volume came through as we tested the highs here on ES. On ES. Let's see what's crack-a-lacking. What's crack-a-lacking? All right, well, making higher highs here, NQ, ES, maybe catching up now, maybe. Man, NQ just runs, man. NQ just runs. That's insane. Let's look at NQ real quick. Look how it just keeps running up. I don't know. Let's take a peek at the equities here. Okay, Microsoft finally running up. Same thing, Apple making higher highs here. So this is looking really bullish. It's looking really bullish, and of course NQ is leading the way here. I just don't see an entry either in. I don't see an entry So we'll have to sit. We'll have to sit and wait patiently. Maybe if we can get a pullback here. I mean, I like it to the upside. I just don't have a I don't have an entry. So if we can get a pullback, that could potentially offer an entry. I'm very specific, or I'm very strict with what I need to see for me to enter a trade. Anytime we have a large, I've identified that anytime we have a large trend, we typically see something very repetitive happen. The setup that I see has it stands the test of time. I've back tested it several times, and I notice it every single time. So that's one of the things that I keep an eye on, while also having some other confluences line up. But I need to see that setup for me to get in. And at first, I will say I was confusing it for breakouts, but it's a little different than that. It's a little different than that. I will call upon your name. All right, Microsoft just keeps making higher highs. Apple has already made some higher highs here. Looking pretty bullish. Pretty bullish. Like I said, I can't get in at these current levels. I would have to see a pullback. And maybe a pullback into this level. What are we looking at right now? We're looking at NQ. Maybe a pullback into, and I'm gonna draw a few lines here. Maybe it could potentially pull back here, or it could pull back into here. Those are some of the areas that I'm looking at. 45.52 on ES. On ES, 40, yeah, about 45.52 on ES. If we could pull back into that, obviously we're making higher highs, right? So price has been accepting these higher high here. Sorry, I can't speak. Price has been making higher highs. We're accepting these higher highs. So now what we have to do is collect some more buyers at these lower levels, and then hopefully we can see some continuation. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm not a big fan of playing breakouts. In my opinion, they're pretty low probability, and especially if they're breakouts, that make higher highs or lower lows. In this case, I'm not looking to trade these breakouts here. Had I done it with ES, I would have been. I'd be in negative right now. NQ, they seem to work a little better, but no, that's just not the way to go for me. We're coming to that 45.55 level, seeing a little bit of support here, and of course that was a key level. Remember that level, 45.55. That's been a key level for us. Still nothing. There's not enough for me to take this trade or to take any trades. Whew, that's a workout right there. You can like literally feel the muscles right here. I think this is this is a great I don't know what the fuck you'd call it, like fitness equipment. Oh, I would have been done for the day had I taken that first trade on NQ. And I really think I would have taken it. I just at the time I didn't notice 624. I didn't notice the strong volume. There was such a nice increase in volume at 624, which is very unusual to see. To see that kind of volume pre-market. Um, so I really think I would have taken it, on and then we did have some confluencing factors here, like we broke past the wedge on ES. Saw some nice volume. Yeah, I mean it is what it is, but anyways, moving along. If you guys are here for a good time, not a long time, just hit the like button before you go. I would highly appreciate it. So we're coming into that 45.52 level. We've seen quite a bit of rejections at that level. We've seen quite a bit of rejections. The only thing is, ooh, okay, something might be opening up here on NQ. I'd have to. Here, if we go over to NQ, this is one of the things that I'm looking at right now. So if we can potentially, so you see that zone there, that 2-minute zone. So if we can bounce off of that 1584 level and break past that 15838, I'm gonna hop in. So I should probably get ready here. I want to see if we can see we saw some really nice momentum. We're bouncing. I want to see a second candle just open up and then make a higher high, and I'll look to hop in. So once we break past that 15839 level on NQ, I'm gonna hop in long. $15,839 level. If we can break past that, so you see how it's a level of interest. Do you see how it's rejecting? It's a level of interest. So I'm not invalidating it just yet. I just need to see a strong break past it. All right, I'm hopping in this.
Order filled.
Hopping in it. Stop loss is at 15,825. I hope man, The only concern here is if we can't break past this 15837. I maybe should have waited just a tad bit. But I am in long. Stop loss is at 15825. 15825. I don't like what's happening. Not a fan of.
Stop, Phil.
Ah! Okay. Man, so our morning gains were just wiped out. Not. I mean. It's not really what you'd like to see, right? I feel like I didn't have enough confluences. I didn't even actually. Yeah, let me go through it because I traded NQ. Did we have a key level? Who fucking knows? I don't even know if this was a key level up here. Or actually, we were going in long. We didn't necessarily bounce off of this support here. So no, we didn't have a key level. We were playing defense. And I really fucked up on this one, honestly. I fucked up on this one. Didn't even break past the candle range. Made a lower low, I guess you can call it. That was totally, that was a bad trade, really bad trade. Let's go ahead and redeem ourselves here because that was a horrible fucking trade. So now we're bouncing off support here. We're bouncing off support on ES. Same thing here. We had resistance. Now we're at support. You see that first trade that I took, we didn't even get down to support. So that was a bad trade. Bad trade. And then Apple and Microsoft weren't really supporting it either. So we're making a lower low here on ES. We're seeing a lot of volume coming through. This could potentially reverse here. Seeing a whole lot of volume coming through. So we have a few, you guys noticed the few level of supports that we have. So we don't have a clear path. I would say we don't have a clear path to the downside. That's why I am looking to the upside, but I ought to consider both at least, right? We're breaking past, okay, ES is making lower lows. It's looking pretty good to the downside. We keep making lower lows here. Let's head over to ES and see if we're approaching any levels of interest. We're coming close to that 45-43 level, which is going to act as support. So I am interested to see how that plays out. We have some nice volume. This 736, 736. Okay, that's interesting. If we can head back up, because I'm looking to the upside currently. I'm looking to the upside. If we can head back up, break past VWAP on ES, and then break past this level, this 15,826 level on NASDAQ, I'd be interested in going long. And we would see, I'm thinking we would see some nice volume. We would see a little wedge break here. We would be breaking past $15.25. Yep, we'd be breaking past 5-minute candle range. Making a lower low. Yeah, I'm interested in that trade. If we can get above 15,826, 15,826. I'd be interested in going long. Somewhere right there. And then I'd be speculating a break. I'd be speculating a break past the highs. We're being supported here on Apple. We're coming down to this level of support. Yeah, it looks pretty solid to the upside. If we can just break past that 15,826, stop loss would be like at 15,810. That's what I'm looking at to the downside. I don't see, although selling is pretty heavy right now, I don't see much to the downside. I don't see an entry. You won't stop. Like I said, that 15826 looks pretty promising if we can get past that. Or 15828. I'd be risking quite a bit, but I would need to see some strong volume entering the market. I would need to see ES get above VWAP. I'm interested to see, are we approaching a Fibonacci level here? Because that would add some confluence here. Ooh, we got to that 50% retracement. You guys can tell we tagged that 50% retracement there. I know it's getting a little messy, but this 15,780 level came down to that level, tagged it, so that does add some confluence. Seems like sellers are starting to dry up a little bit. Oops. I keep looking to the downside. I don't see anything as of right now. So I'm gonna get rid of a few. Looks like Apple. We're seeing some support on Apple. We'll be approaching a level of support here on Microsoft at 348.38. We'll be seeing some support there. Let's see how that reacts. We're already making lower lows though. We're coming to that resistance level on. So we're breaking past a few key levels here. We keep breaking past these levels. Apple just broke past that support level. So we keep breaking past these levels. So it seems like the tide is now starting to turn. And I don't know what to do from here, besides just sitting on my hands. So we saw look at the volume that just came through, right? So we're playing defense here. We got down to this resistance support level here on ES. Here on NASDAQ, we came down into that level. We came down to this level, and just look at the volume. Pay attention to the volume that's coming through. I mean, at this point, we don't have much supporting it. We just broke past every single level. I had golly, bro. I totally fucked up on the direction. It has blown past every single level here. So I'm gonna start getting rid of this. Now all these levels that I'm drawing, they're not, they don't mean that price is gonna bounce from that level. It just means it's a high interest area. So every time we've came into these levels, there's a whole bunch of volume coming through. Now what I'm looking for is how price reacts as it hits those levels. Are we gonna see a strong breakthrough? Are we gonna see, bounce off of these levels? It's one or the other, right? So these levels aren't meant to be traded. They're just meant to provide some context to what's happening. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't want to trade this to the upside. Not until maybe if we can get above VWAP, because now we just have way too many obstacles here. And there's a lot of selling here at this 450 level, a whole lot of selling there. There's a lot of selling here at this 45.50 level. Whole lot of volume went through at that time. But we are seeing some nice volume here. Some nice defense from buyers. And we are bouncing off of VWAP here on NASDAQ. So I'm getting quite a few mixed signals here. I don't know what price wants to do exactly. I don't know what to make of this action here. I want to see how price reacts once it gets to 45.50. We're approaching VWAP here on ES. That level there on ES may be something worth considering. If we can, that little shaded box to the downside, right beneath 45.45, we could potentially play short. I think that could present a good opportunity. And then on NQ here, we saw a lot of volume. I like that candle though, because we saw a lot of volume at 7.54. A whole lot of volume came through. We're bouncing off of VWAP, so we have a Q level. If we can play defense and then break below this 45.45 level, now the only concern would be, are we going to double bottom down here at this 45.41? That's something that I wouldn't want to see. But I'm looking at the equities here, and they're struggling to make higher highs. Let's call it 45.46. If we can break below that, then I'll be interested in getting in short on ES. And then I'm going to look for a break past this 45.41 level. I don't think we have anything below that, to be honest. Any obstacles in the way? I mean, if you want to, maybe 45.37 would be an area of support. Yeah. 45.37. So we could potentially make, a few points. If I'm only risking 2 points, then I can get at least a 3-1. NQ. We're seeing some nice volume. I will need to see a break past this shaded box here. Ignore this when I'm talking about this shaded box here. Now the only thing that I'm concerned, like I said, is if we double bottom at 45.42. So I'm gonna make sure that I protect myself if I do start to see a double bottom. What I would like to see is we break past this with some nice aggression, and we let's see if I'm missing something here. I really just don't like it to the upside because we do have VWAP. We have VWAP right there, and then we have this level of resistance. 45.50 is also a key level. So, I'm looking to the upside as well. I'm not just biased towards one side, but I think the better opportunity might be this playing it short. But we are bouncing off of this level here. Literally bounced off of 45.47. Looks like we could potentially break past it. Let's see what ends up happening here. We saw quite a bit of volume as we got to that 45.50, so we are playing defense. I just need to see some aggression here. Breaking past 45.46. But we do keep bouncing off of that 45.47 level. Yeah, so I'm kind of like, this can either, obviously price can either go up or down, but I'm in one of those scenarios too where this play can either go up or down. So I don't know if I should be getting in right now to go long at 45.47, or I should be playing it short as we break past 45.46. And like I said, the only reason I'm leaning to the downside is because we're seeing a lot of levels of support of resistance up here. really not interested to go short here anymore. I don't know what to make of this action here. I'm looking at NQ though here. NQ has a really nice opposing zone there. Get rid of this. NQ has a nice little opposing zone that ends at 15,782. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens, but I may end up taking NQ here for a short. In a little bit, I will need to see a break past this 15,780 level. But it keeps, yeah, look at that. It keeps being supported. Apple really hasn't gone anywhere. It tried making a lower low, but we had a really strong rejection. Or not a lower, I mean, it's been just trending very slowly to the downside, but it did have this lower low here and saw a pretty strong rejection. So not, I don't see many conjunctions here, honestly. 15,780 here on NQ. If we can crack that, then I think that could potentially be a good opportunity to play short. And I'm looking here on ES. I would want to see a crack past 44.46 just to have that conjunction, you know. Apple is making lower lows now. Microsoft is bouncing off support, or bouncing off resistance, I should say. Okay, so now we do have a few conjunctions here. I would just need to see this break past 15,781 on NASDAQ. On NASDAQ, I repeat, if we can break below 15,781 on NASDAQ, I am going to go short. And I'm looking at that little zone there. We'd be breaking past the 5-minute candle range. We have a little wedge here on the 1 minute. Are we bouncing off a kilo? That's the only thing. I don't think we're bouncing. There is a lot of volume here, a lot of selling pressure here at us 15,800. And then same thing with SPY. Like there's this 45.50 level is definitely an area of definitely an area of interest. Sellers, we saw a lot of volume from sellers at 15. At 45.50 was where we saw a lot of selling happen. And, you know, we're having a hard time making higher highs here. So maybe if we can break past this in the short interim. Alright, I'm close to hopping in here. I would just need to see a break past this 45, this 15,781 on NASDAQ. That little box there that you see, I would need to see a break past that. Making lower lows on Microsoft. I'm not a big fan of this action, I will say. I'm not a fan of this action here. Don't really like what's happening, so I'm gonna avoid this. I'm gonna avoid this action here. I'm not a fan of it, so I'm gonna go take a leak and I'll be right back. So we haven't really moved anywhere, right? Hope you guys don't mind. I'm gonna stretch out a little bit, but I'm keeping an eye on these charts here, and I don't really see much movement. So I'm noticing this little wedge right here. Bam. Little wedge on NASDAQ. Right, and I'm looking. Same thing on ES. Very similar action there. Not really much worth pointing out. Yo, what's up, Cam? had a little win and then took an L right now, so we're at break even. How about for you? Did you catch that morning rally, dude? That thing popped off like crazy. So on ES, we're right below VWAP. I'm looking to go short too. I just can't seem to get the right entry here. That's right, bro. Can't trade against the trend. I'm looking to go short here. I like this. I know 45.50 on ES is acting as support. We're right below VWAP too. And we are approaching this on NASDAQ. We're approaching this 15,816 level. There was a lot of volume that was being transacted there. And it's that highlighted box. So I like the volume that was being transacted in this area. So I'm expecting price to come up to this level and then potentially make a lower low. It seems to just be chilling right here. So I don't want to get in just yet. I'm gonna give it a little more time to kind of develop, but I'm thinking if we can potentially get up to this level and then break down to the downside, because we have somewhat of a parallel channel here. Not really parallel, but I will leave that wedge on there because I think that'll add to my confluences. And just going over to Microsoft and Apple. Microsoft managed to break past. It's not making any lower lows. It's kind of like in between its range. And then Apple came to the lows, and now it's kind of starting to bounce back. But I'm interested to see if this prior area of support acts as resistance. We'll see what ends up happening here, but I'm not looking at Bookmap if I'm being honest. No, I don't have enough screens, bro. I need one more screen for that. No, I should. Let's open it up. Yeah, let's mess around with it. Live Bookmap. But I bet if I look over on, even before opening it, I'm pretty sure we're gonna notice quite a bit of selling in this 15,816 level. That's what I'm predicting. Okay, let's see, live Bookmap. Go over to YouTube. I'm pulling it up right now. Here, let's take a look at what's cracking. Live NQ futures bookmap. There you are. So I'm gonna have to. Oh, that's fine. Cool. All right. So looking at NQ, you see, I see a lot of orders here on in between that 15,815 up to 15,825. Quite a bit of orders there. And then we have a huge buyer down here at 15,780. I want price to come into this 15,818 level, 15,825. I saw a lot of orders here, and in fact, this is where I fucked up. I went long here after we broke past this level, and it offered a great opportunity to go short. But I was looking at this candle here, and I mean, I didn't have a lot of confluences, and honestly, it was a bad trade on my end. But it did offer a great opportunity to the downside once we broke past this 15,815 or 15,820 level, because there was a whole lot of volume that happened here. Yeah, but this is what I was looking at before this downtrend. I was looking for continuation to the upside, but we didn't quite break past this level, so just not really a good trade. The one thing I missed pre-market analysis was this huge increase in volume at 624. I don't know if you noticed that, Cam. I totally missed that, dude. 624, and then we broke past. I had the wedge drawn out. Yeah, this could have been a really good opportunity here, but doesn't matter. It is what it is. So I am noticing a decline in volume here. I'm noticing a decline in volume, gradually seeing less and less volume. Ooh, okay, so this right here, this is what I'm looking at right now. That there's quite a bit of volume here at this 819 candle. The candle that formed that 819, there's quite a bit of volume there. So if we can, I'm gonna get rid of this box here, but I'm looking at this particular setup here, somewhere around there. I want this to act as resistance and then see some nice selling to the downside. Break past this level, this little box here, the lower box, to confirm my entry. So we have a key level. And on ES, I will need it to break below VWAP again. So I'm starting to get used to seeing everything, and because it all works together, right? Everything that I'm looking at should be working the same. It should be doing the same thing. And that's I took a trade this morning, the one that I did pocket on, and everything was working in conjunction. Like there was really nice confluences, and I'm starting to get used to, you know, looking at all these, gathering all these pieces of information and putting a trade idea together. We're seeing quite a bit of volume here. Look at all the buyers that are stepping in though. That's why I want it on Bookmap. I want it to break past that 15,805 level, because all that is being a huge order just went through. But then we do have a large order at 1830. So what I really want to see is a break past all that buying that's supporting price right now. I want to break past it, confirm that sellers are indeed strong, and then we can head on over and place shorts. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Looking for a break past this 15,800, right around that ballpark there. In fact, let me go to the 1 minute on NASDAQ here. Yeah, that's it right there. So what is that, 1595? 15,895 or 15,795, there you go. And I'm seeing a lot of volume right now. How are we feeling about this trade, Cam? Are you still on here? Are you still looking for that short? I really don't see anything to the upside here. Yeah, same. I'm just watching it. I will say I'm leaning to the short side right now. I don't see anything to the upside. Market has been nothing but up. The last 3 days, hesitant to go short. I feel that. I hear you, dude. For me though, I feel like I have quite a few confluences here. So, like I said, if we can break past that 15,800 level, I'll see how that works out. I don't think I'd be risking a lot either. Breaking past that wedge. All right, so we're close to breaking past that, but if I can see another 1 minute candle open and then make a lower low, I'm gonna hop in short. I was close to hopping in here. Let's see if 15,808 can be supported here. 15,808. I'm looking at 15,808. Let's see if that can be act as resistance. A lot of volume coming through. Yeah, I may have to. I'm glad I didn't get in. I was very close to getting in. I wanted to see just a lower low here, but it rejected right away. So I'm gonna have to avoid these shorts here. This 15808, yeah. So we didn't quite break past that box. It's definitely it's a high. This is what I look for. I'm looking for areas of high interest, and there's a lot of interest here, which is why we saw that very strong rejection there. But I wanted to see a break past it to put all those buyers underwater and fuel that lower lows, but didn't quite get it. We saw a lot of aggression here. I'm looking at Bookmap and we saw a lot of aggression. Sellers definitely stepped in. We just didn't quite make it all the way here. This is that level. I know there's a lot of participation happening here, but ES is slowly making higher highs. Let's take a look at what Microsoft, Apple. We're seeing a double bottom. We're seeing buyers stepping in aggressively. Microsoft seems to be hovering in the middle, not much worth pointing out there, but Apple, we're seeing that double bottom, very strong rejection, and it seems like now it's bouncing to the upside. So this may be just a swing, or I don't know what I'd call this, but I definitely don't think we'll be seeing a downtrend here. Seems like buyers are doing a great job supporting lower levels, and we're finding acceptance at these higher highs. I'd be interested to see how this level where I was trying to go long, I'd be interested to see how this level here holds up. So that's where I was trying to go long, and obviously it didn't quite work, this level here. So I'd be interested to see, because there's quite a bit of volume here. We had quite a strong change in direction. If I look over to ES, yesterday towards the end of the day, we saw really nice moves. So I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna stick around for a while here and see if we can capitalize because I'm at break even right now. Haven't made money, haven't lost money. I took 2 trades, and that second one I really shouldn't have taken it. I didn't have all the confluences I typically look for. Here on ES, we have, ooh, that's, I wanted to say this was a 10-minute supply zone, but then I look over to that big 10-minute candle that's formed at 720, and there's a little bit of volume here. There's not as much as you'd expect. Not a lot of volume there. But this is that same level here. That line I just drew. Let me get rid of a few levels here just to make it a little less. $45.55. Seeing a strong rejection here. Seeing a lot of volume coming through right now. It's hard for me to get in right now. What I really need to see is, you know, some strong swing starting to happen. This right now, it almost feels like this is like an accumulation phase. Now, I don't know if it's gonna just continue to make higher highs or just end up breaking down, but we're just kind of slowly accumulating here. So like I said, what I really want to see are some strong swings, because everything feels so damn congested right now. nice and night. Hey, I got my money. So that could be classified, that large shaded box that you see, that could be classified as a supply zone. I mean, not the best. I mean, you look over to the 15-minute and it looks horrendous. And so it's definitely not the strongest supply zone in my opinion. So I don't really see much stopping price from making higher highs here. This is the only level here that I'm interested to see how this plays out. This 15,839 level. I'm gonna just get rid of this one though. Shut it down. So by now I would have been done with the live stream here, but like I said, I'm gonna stick around for a while, see if we can identify an opportunity. Not much as of right now. Sitting on my hands here, biting onto this thing. Price likes to gravitate where there's a lot of liquidity, and of course, we see a lot of liquidity here at 15,850, and that happens to be at the highs. Let's burn the roof. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do I want anything? What? I'm okay, thank you. Alright, I like that we're making lower lows here. We're not lower lows. I like that. If we can continue this selling to the downside, I'd be interested to see how this level here plays out. We can see like a double bottom here. Double bottom. I just need to see some swings here. I need to see price move more than what it's, I don't know how to say it, but just start to like move a little. Because like I said, it feels really congested right now. Apple had a hard time after seeing that double bottom. It had a hard time making higher highs here, and it seems to be breaking past that double bottom. Interesting. I really don't see much from my end. Like I said, I'm interested to see how it reacts as it gets down to this level. This 15,795 level. We had a strong rejection there before. I'm wondering if we're gonna see another strong rejection here. It could potentially offer an opportunity to go long. Man, I may just have to get off the screens for a little bit and come back later, because none of this action here seems promising. I'll give it till like 9. See if there's anything that happens within the next 10 minutes. you look at it, if you're looking at ES is back in, it's inside that middle range. It's very tough to trade when we are at the area where most of the volume is being transacted, or where most of the volume has been transacted. Right, we're literally just balanced right now, which is why we're seeing such slow movements. That's why I want to see some strong swings, some volatility starting to appear on the market, but we're not really getting that. Same goes with the equities here. They're very balanced, right in the middle. You know, and as we start to tighten up this range here, usually that ends up with a very explosive move. So we'll see how it plays out here. I'm seeing a little wedge right here. You guys see that little wedge there? So as we start to come closer and closer into the end of this wedge, typically we see a strong move happen. So it's the same deal with ES. I mean, we have this wedge, and we did break below the wedge on here, and we're testing this level of support. Very similar to NQ, but we're testing the level of support here at 45.47, and I'm noticing this little zone here. So I'm gonna hop on over to ES. So you guys can tell we have this wedge here, or this trend line. We broke below it, and now I'm looking at this zone here. I want to see how price reacts if we manage to break past this zone. But we did come below that trend line. We're testing this level of support. I'd be interested to see what's that level. 45.53 down to 45.52. So 45.53. Yeah. Microsoft is balanced. Nothing exciting there. The next level here for ES, the next level of defense would be there. I really don't have anything to the downside. I don't see much to the downside here. But if we can see some aggressive buying step in, break past that VWAP on ES, and then get above this 45.53, I wouldn't mind taking a stab at it. The only concern there would be this 45.55, which is 2 points away from my entry. That'd be the only concern. I wouldn't want to see a double top here. But this wedge, we're starting to close in on this wedge. So let's see some aggressive buying here as we break past VWAP. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. All right. Let's see some buying starting to step in here. This level, there's a at 190.3. I'm looking at Apple 190.3. It keeps acting as support here. Haven't been able to break below that level. Wow, Microsoft has not done anything. Like, it's just stuck, literally. All right, I'm done looking at Microsoft. Microsoft hasn't done shit. Um, Apple keeps playing support. We have this wedge here. Ooh, this could potentially offer a buying opportunity. I'm looking at Apple right now. We have this trend line, and we are going to break past an opposing zone right at 190.54. So like I said, I want to see us get above 45.53. Oh. We're being supported. We're playing defense. We're seeing some aggression stepping in. We're seeing our wedge holding up price on NQ. but it looks like we could potentially break. Man, if we end up going below VWAP again, I'm gonna completely. I'm gonna just call it I'm gonna call it for the live stream. Microsoft is balanced, hasn't really done much. It's kind of a concern here. Apple hasn't really done much either. Yeah, don't even look at Microsoft. Unless you want to see a straight line. She hasn't done anything. That's why I'm thinking maybe it's best to just come back later. Yeah, well, that's it for me, folks. Thank you guys for showing up, for those that showed up, and for anyone watching this in the future, thank you. Make sure you hit that like button, and once again, we are live streaming every single morning, 10 minutes before the market opens. I'm trading both ES and NQ. Not a lot of traders are doing that. So I'm looking at everything. I'm calling out what Apple's doing. I'm calling out what Nasdaq's doing. Microsoft is doing, and I'm showing you guys in real time what my trades are. So if you guys enjoyed this, you found some value, please hit that like button. I would highly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you.